Hey folks, Dave here. Late Saturday night, just seeing if anybody is up and would like to have a late night chat. We haven't done one of these in a while. I want to come on, just kind of talk about a couple of random things. So just kind of recap what's going on here with me this week and the channel and the Digital Dice podcast. We had Mike Ignatowski on this week talking about his Blue Links hockey spreadsheet. So if you're doing a hockey project, that's what you want to use to keep your stats and your standings and the whole bit. And that looks really good. It really does. So we had him on the show and we talked to him, and then we had the videos kind of walking through how to set all that up. So that was going on this week. Did some unboxings this week, as again, Bankshot basketball has been finding its way into my heart. Don't ask me why, but I picked it up, a week or two ago, and I've been really hitting Bankshot basketball hard. As you can tell, it's been on my channel quite a bit. Really, Bankshot basketball has been a lot of fun. And I've been, my obsession, I'm like, I just can't help it. I rounded all the corners of like everything basketball. I really did. I had 4 seasons. There was some I bought on sale and some was seasons I just wanted for basketball. And so I got 4 seasons. And included in the 4 seasons, though, sounds like what was that, 70s band or a hotel, the 4 seasons. What was included is extra seasons. So with the 75, 76, not only do you get the NBA, but you get the ABA, which is cool. But it just means more corners to round. And then with 81, 82, I got the Continental Basketball Association, or the Continental Association Basketball. I forget what it was. But I got 8 more teams with that. So unbeknownst to me, when I started unboxing, I got all these extra teams. It was a great deal for me. And to a point where I've enjoyed this game so much that I want to support Joe. I know he's going through another tough time, so I ordered a couple more seasons from Joe. So I'm going to have plenty of seasons, plenty of teams. I pretty much have just about everything in the run I would want for the Celtics from like early 80s and up. Now, if they did come out with 80, 81, I think that's one I would get because that's the one they won the title. They have 79, 80. I don't think I have that. And I don't have 77, 78, but I got the 75, 76, then 81, 82, 83, 84. So I have that nice mid-run there. And then I do have 95, so I can play some Michael Jordan, if you will. So I got 170s, 190s, and a bunch of 80s. And again, if they release more, if they would do 2008, that's another season that the Celtics won. I would probably get that just to play some Celtics. And if they had what was the other one, 80, 81, I would get that. I don't think I'm going to get 79, 80. I might. Again, like I said, maybe Black Friday sale or something. But I like to support Joe. I really like to support Joe. And so I got to sub. But I just been cornering. I don't know. Do I have my corner here? No, it's over there. What I would do is, again, the cards here are the cards, right? And just that's just how fantastic they look, right? When they're cornered, they just look so good. They look better than me. Let me see how good they look. Cornered, they just look so great. And the only ones I didn't corner is all the extra cards. So any extra, like so what you do is with Joe's games, you get, if the guy played on 2 teams, you got Team A, Team B, and then a generic card that represents everything. So I didn't cut those. I didn't want to waste my time on that. But you see how like the square there? Yeah, they're okay, right? That's fine. These corners are very sharp though. They're wicked sharp. But then you put them on the rounder, and you take all the sharpness away, and you have this really, really nice card, and they look gorgeous, and they play gorgeous, and especially the fast action cards, you can now shuffle them because it's like a deck of cards. You know, when you're playing cards, there's no corners on cards, right? They're all rounded, and that's why it makes it easy to shuffle and easy to handle. So I ended up cornering all the fast action cards, both sets, the black and the blue set. And then I started doing all the teams. And I said I was just going to do a handful of teams. But as I get going, what's the name of it? Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find my corner over here. Here it is. I actually just ordered another one. So this is my old one I had a few years ago that I was using. And I ended up... I wore it down to a point where I was having a hard time cutting with it, but this is what I'm using here. It's called the Catamoro Pro or something like that. That's what I'm using. Catamoro Pro, if you will. And it just looks like this. And you got 3 slots to put it in. So you got, and it says it over here too, is you got small, large, and medium. So small, S, large here, and then medium here. I use the medium. Small doesn't do much. Large is too big, I think. So it works out well. So you just stick it in and you clamp it down, and it does the job. And this one I wore out. I did a lot of corner rounding with this. I wore it out, so I had to buy a new one. And that's the one that I got. And I think it was $12. I ordered a new one off of Amazon. I think it was $12. So I bought 2 originally because they said they were hard to find years ago. So I got mine, and that's the one that was recommended by a board game group on Facebook that they craft the stuff. I think it's a print and play group. So they print and play, and you can round the corners and hold. But that's the one they recommended. So that's the one I got. I got 2 of them years ago. So I had to bring out the second one to get this job done here. So I'm probably wearing out that one now, because I've cut a ton of cards. And so I got all my 4 seasons done. I got all of them cornered out. And what I did, so what I was getting at is I'd take this thing, right? And I would just kind of leave it on the counter behind me over there. And every time I would walk by the counter, I had a stack of teams, just a stack of teams over there. And when I went by, I would stop, and basketball's not a lot of cards. It's 15 to 20 cards. So I would corner out one team. Every time I walk by, I stop, spend 2 or 3 minutes, and I was getting good at it, so I could corner a team in 2 to 3 minutes, and then I go off and do something. And when I come back, when I walk by the cutter again, I stopped and I did another team, and that's how I did it. I would chip away at it. Every now and then I'd go and I'd do 2 or 3 teams in a row, but it got tedious, kind of hammering away all those cards. So what I would do is I would just walk by, and then this afternoon I was folding the jerseys, so I'd fold a set of jerseys, and I'd go over and I cut a couple of teams. And I fold a set of jerseys, and I go over and I cut a couple of teams. And eventually I ripped through them all, and the biggest one was 95-96. There's a lot of teams in 95-96. And I somehow got them done. I got them done today. And so they're all done. So now I'm all caught up, except when I got to get the new seasons in. When the new seasons come in, then I'll be cutting them again, So there are 29 teams in 95-96. So that's what took me so long. But what was really fun though about 95-96, not only do you get Michael, but you have all these extra teams, and that was I was playing what's it, like Celtics versus Lakers 95-96 on the Sega Genesis basketball game, and I enjoyed that. So I played a little bit in the 90s. And, it's fun because you got now the newer teams like the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat. You have Minnesota Timberwolves, Vancouver Grizzlies, Toronto Raptors, Charlotte Hornets. So there's a lot of new teams that I don't have when I play 70s and 80s in this 95-96 set. So that's what I thought was fun. And I didn't realize that Minnesota, they weren't that good, but they were loaded up here. Kevin Garnett, Christian Laettner, Sam Mitchell, Spud Webb. These are guys that I know, and I don't know anything about basketball, but I've heard of all these guys. So that's why I got 95-96. And then, of course, Michael. And then Dennis Rodman, too. Come on, you can't overlook that. So I'll be getting Dennis Rodman here on the channel. I'd like to. I need. Something. Let me check his rebound. His rebound is unbelievable. Let me see if I can find a Dennis Rodman card. Here's Chicago right here. So we'll do this. So I've been big into my basketball. Don't ask me how. It's been fun. And again, rounding the corners here. It just makes it so nice. It really does. It really does. All right. So before I look up Michael and Dennis, let me go back to the chat room here, saying hi to some people. So I've been basically corner cutting and doing that. I did an unboxing of the Filsinger wrestling game, and I was just sitting here tonight reading the instructions on that. So I want to get some basic mode of wrestling practice on the channel here before I show it off. And I bought a new microphone. Not for this, but a portable microphone. I had an old microphone. It's over there. I'm not going to go get it now. I'll show it off when I unbox it. And I bought this microphone, I want to say back in, I think it came out in 08, but something tells me that I had this in 06. Okay, it's a Zoom H2. I think I bought it back in '06 or '07, and that's when I first started doing my hockey games. Was with that, and I was doing interviews with it and the whole bit. And it's a fantastic microphone, super high quality microphone. Well, they had a new one, and I was like, I'm gonna get the new one. It looks a little bit easier. It does a few more things. So I'm gonna take both to Colorado, and I might even do a show out there. I'll record a show or two out there in Colorado, but I want to get a lot of audio recording out there. Video's harder to work with, so I'm going to get the audio. So I bought this new mic. I'll unbox it, and I'm going to take that to Colorado. I'm going to take it to Ohio, to Canton, and if I go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, I'll take it there too. So I'll get some video while I'm out there, but I'm really going to concentrate on a lot of audio so I can get some people recorded on the show and get them on the show. It's just the audio is so much easier to work with, and this makes for a great podcast. So Randy comes in here. He said he plays the first quarter of a game tonight with Bankshot after I got all my corners rounded the past few days. yeah, I did. I played a first quarter of a game after I got all my corners. Randy, that is my thing. I don't know what the word is. I'm a completionist is what I am. And I can't just do anything part way. Like I can't do like some of the dishes. I have to do all the dishes. I can't cut just the backyard. I have to cut the backyard in the front when I cut the grass. I just have to just do things and get it done. And including in the league that I run, I found a website that does all my stats. And I found out I could put stats going back, in the past. So I have all my stats from going back to the year 2000, basically. And so this was probably about, 6 or 7 years ago. I started backloading every single score sheet from every single game, from every single league that I ran, going back to 2000, 2001. And it's some guys in the league helped me and some other people helped me. And I would, I had them on the computer, so I would zip off screenshots to people or print out a season and give it to them. But anyway, I remember some people helping me out, and everyone wanted to help in the beginning because it was fun. So we got a couple of seasons up. So it's like, not only do we have the current season, we have a couple of seasons going back. That's kind of fun. And then people got tired of it and phased out, and they're like, well, we got 100 score sheets in and only 5,000 more to go. Well, guess what? Somehow, some way, I got all 5,000 score sheets in, and we have stats going back now about 23, 24 years. So anybody that's ever played in the league has their own stat page, and you can go check it out. And people come up to me today and they're like, hey, this is great. I'm going to be playing in my 200th game, or I got my 1,000th point, or whatever it is. So people laughed at first, but I got it done. I didn't do it alone, but I got it done. But I had to get it done. It's almost like a challenge. It really was. It's like, oh, you'll never do this. Well, I did it. It took 2 years, but I got it done. And it's kind of the same thing with this cornering here. It's like, I got Chicago here, but how can I leave, Indiana out? How can I not do Indiana? Even if I never play Indiana, I'm going to look at that pile and say, I have these nice and rounded, and they look great. And all the other ones are going to look yucky, even though I might never use them. But it's no, and with the basketball being, again, there's not a lot of guys in that team. I mean, it's not a lot. So I could probably bang it out in a couple of minutes. Baseball is a lot different. I have a lot of baseball. In the baseball, you got 30 or 40 guys on a team. So I started to do some of the baseball for my 1976 season. But I'm like, something? I think with baseball, I would be forever trying to do all my baseball cards. I get thousands of them, and so I just, something. I think baseball is going to be, if I want to play a game, I'll take 10 minutes and I'll corner the two teams I'm going to play, and then I'll put them on the table here. It would be nice just to grab them and play, but that's way too much prep time. So getting back to Randy's point about I got all my corners right, I can't stop myself. I have to finish it. I have to feel complete. That's just kind of how I've always been. Again, I can't do some of the dishes. I can't, just cut part of the grass. I got to finish it. I'm always a completionist with most things, and not all the time, but that's just me. This, I thought it was in reach, because every time I do a few teams, I'm almost done this season. There's only 7 more teams, so I do the 7 teams. Well, I'll start on the next season. I go by and I punch a team and it's like, well, I only got about 8 more teams to go. Let me just bang it out. And so I did. Now I'm done. Now all the seasons I got it done. All the fast action cards are done. I am playing this game so much. All that time's been worth it. because now I have nice looking cards on the table. The fast action cards shuffle, they handle so nice. You're not getting caught in the corners. That's what it is. You get caught in the corners. So for me, yep, I was a little obsessed. I was a little eccentric about it, and it took me all week, and I'm chipping away, and I'm driving the wife nuts with all the noise I'm making. But I didn't do it at night anymore. 8 o'clock, I shut it off. But when she went to the doctor in the afternoon, if I was home, the whole time she was gone, hour and a half. I'm just hammering away at all these cards, and I got them all done. And now I can sit back and enjoy that, and know that they're done too. Because if they weren't done, if there was still a season over here, it would be gnawing at me. Knowing myself, it would be gnawing at me, and I'd have to do them. I just would have to do them. And so you just got to know yourself. You got to know yourself. But yeah, so that is that. And David C. comes by, and he's really enjoying all the Bankshot basketball. It's a fun game. Isn't it a fun game? And I'm trying to play it and explain it as I play to show you what I'm looking at and what's happening. I really like, there's just enough variety in the game for someone like me who doesn't know anything about basketball to enjoy it, because it tells you who gets the ball, and sometimes they have to pass it, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're going up against the guy that's defending against them. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's a fast break. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it'll say, if you get a shooting foul, automatically count the basket. Sometimes they'll say if it's a foul, that turns into a turnover instead. So there's all this variety on the action cards that were kind of well done, I thought. So you get so many possessions in a game. Sometimes it's like, it does get kind of boring. Sometimes just kind of, okay, here's this guy gets this guy. But then all these little things get tossed in. And it just there's enough variety in the game that I'm enjoying it. And then with that app oh my gosh, that app on the iPad, that is a game changer. iScore Basketball that's an app for your iPad. It's so fast because it's faster than keeping them by hand. You just load the teams in. Was it like 12 or 13 guys on a team? You just go into the app and just create a team, and you just add players to the roster, and it takes all of 5 minutes. And your teams are in there, ready to go, and then you play. It's all set, and you just tap on what happens. Bird gets a 2-point shot. Dr. J gets a foul. Maxwell with a rebound, and you're done. And you get all these stats, and it's awesome. I really like the basketball stats. I like going back and see, how did this guy do? Oh, he only shot 38%, and this guy had 7 rebounds. It's fun for me. It's new. Basketball's new, so for me, it's kind of fun, especially playing some of the guys I know. I did get the Braves in on the channel today. I got the Buffalo Braves in, so I did play a game of that. It's just a fun game. It works for me. It's one of these games every now and then I play a game and it just works, and it works really well. And Bankshot basketball works really well. And so I'm enjoying it. It took me a little while to kind of get used to what was going on because, again, it's basketball. And not that you have to know anything about basketball really to play this game, but it does help. And so I'm learning about some different things. And then sometimes the cards are worded kind of weird. I'm like, okay, well, what does this mean? Like the turnovers. The turnover B1 or F2. I'm like, well, does that mean that B1 or F2 turned it over? Or does that mean it was turned over to B1 or F2? And so I finally getting a lot of clarification on some of those. So now, every day I find a little thing. Oh, how do I interpret this? And then I ask and I find out, and it works. So, and Randy says, taking me a while the first game. Taking me a while the first game through. So is that the bank shot there that I think you're talking about there? It's yeah, the first game took me a bit, but once you kind of get it, it doesn't take long. There's a very, very short learning curve for me with that. And I watched a bunch of videos that helped me figure it out. So going in, I knew what I was doing, and then sitting down in Connecticut and playing with some people, that really helped me out too. So, and Larry comes by. Good to see you, Larry. We got to do lunch again. Next time you're in the area, let me know. And Ryan comes by. Good to see you. Ryan, are you going to Colorado for play or Canton for the football event in August? I just didn't know if you were going to any one of those. Let me know if you're going. I'm planning on going to both. I got my plane ticket for Colorado, so I'm going to there. I'm really hoping I can go with Mike to Ohio. I haven't talked to Mike. He's been going through some things. So, but if you're going, let me know. AP coming by. Good to see AP. And Rowdy Tundra also says, they're so awesome once the corners are done, but my hands hurt like oh, yeah, my hands from again, just cranking and cranking and cranking this thing and spinning. So I would actually do both ways. I would like do a lot with my left hand, and then I'd spin it around and I'd do something with my right hand. And, I remember I would grab a soda, like a ginger ale or a seltzer water, and I'd grab a couple of cans and put them in my hands just to ice them down. But you get into a groove. You're like, oh, man, I'm flying. I don't want to stop. I'm so close. I only got like 6 more teams to go. But then your hands start to hurt. Yeah, so the cards come out awesome. And I'm so happy I did it. And, I can't explain to the wife about it. She's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, no, you wouldn't understand. These cards are so nice once you get the corners off. Because they don't stick on anything. They're not cutting you and all this other stuff. Because these cards are really high-quality cards. And you take the corners off, and it's like a deck of cards. It's like a set of Hoyle cards. It really is. They're so good. So I'm glad I did it. And David C. Okay, yeah. So the name of the cutter, I think I already explained that. It's Katomaru Pro, something like that. There you go, Katomaru Pro. So that's the one I've been using. That's the one I think that's the one I ordered again, I think. And okay, so Rowdy has the same one. And Scott's got a corner around here somewhere. I originally got it for the payoff pitch back in the day. Remember when I did 1979? I did every single person with 79 on the PDF. And I rounded the corners and put the logos in, and I put some of the colors on the thing. That was that set took a long time. And then I realized I think I was going to order from Joe and save myself all that time. So now I just got to round the corners if I want. I think what I'm going to do is do the same with a season ticket baseball. Somebody was doing that too. I did that with a football. Remember the play calling cards? Is like 8 of them. So I rounded the corners on them, and they look really nice. And again, they don't get caught on anything when you take the corners off. So I might do that with the season ticket baseball as well. In fact, yeah, I will, because I know I got some teams over here, so I'll do that before I get going here. And Rowdy says, trying to go through the 24-25 season, that's a lot of cards. Oh, my gosh, yeah. Yeah, well, do they have that? Let me see. Bankshot basketball sideline. And that should bring me right to Bankshot basketball. And let's go to the shop. Bankshot basketball. Yeah, he took down the print stuff for right now, just while he's sorting some things out. So I'm kind of hoping things will go well for him, and he'll be back. So do they have? They have 23-24. They don't have 24-20. Oh yeah, they do have. It's only $9 in a PDF. Okay, so they do have 24-25. That's fantastic. I guess I'm not going to get it because I don't know. But yeah, if you go to 24-25. What do we got here? We have it's 30 teams, so it's not that much different than 95. There's 29 teams in 1995, so it's only one more team. It looks like. Now, if I go back to 75, 76, there was only 18 teams, so there's 11 or 12 less teams back in the day. But I did get the ABA. And the ABA, if I take a look at that from 75, 76, was there 9 teams? Again, not everyone lasted, but Utah bailed out to 16 games. San Diego bailed after 11. But you have them. You got them. And so I'm going to be playing some Sales and some Stars. And, the Colonels, Kentucky Colonels, and the Virginia Squires and all those teams. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And I'm glad that Joe did that. Mike comes by. Good to see you, Mike. Oh, what were you playing, Mike? You were playing, was it season ticket baseball you were playing? I saw you posting there on Facebook that you were playing that. And David C., congrats on getting the stats uploaded. Yeah, no joke. It goes back a long way. In fact, I'll see if I can share that with you. So if I go to the page here. I'll show you. I'm not joking. So I only played one game in the last year. I haven't played 9 months, but I'll show you my stats. And we went back again. No joke. We went. In fact, Barbara helped me too. Barbara was part of it. She put in a ton of games for me, and I would send her the games. And so yes. Let me see if I can share this with you. So hang on a sec. I get more in the chat. I just want to share this real quick. I'm behind in the chat, so if you can just bear with me. Let's see if I can share my application window. Opera tab. There we go. Okay. So if I can share this here. Okay, so that's me. All right, yeah, me. Okay. So let me see if I can just enlarge this a little bit. All right, let's see how that is. Okay, so it's a little bit big. So you can see that, you know, it just shows the one game I played here in 2025. I get 2 assists today, but I hadn't played since the summer of 2024. So I almost took a whole year off. But let me scroll down here so you can see. I mean, this goes and goes and goes and goes, and all these games we put in one at a time, 1 goal at a time, 1 assist at a time. It goes all the way back to 2000 in the fall season. And so as you can see here, I have 1,031. I get 1,513 games played. All right, so that's how many games I played since 2000. And I got 1,031 goals, 2,397 assists, and 3,428 points. Sounds pretty impressive, but when you consider it's 25 years, you know. And now what is this here? I think I got what is that? So I got the last 4 stats are penalty minutes, game-winning goals. So I got 174 penalty minutes in 25 years, 62 game-winning goals. I got 40 power play goals and 14 shorthanded goals. So that's kind of my career, if you will. So let me get rid of that. Hang on a sec here. Oh boy. All right, now I screwed it up. Let me just go over here. I'll have to go back and fix what I did there when I took the screen share off. Something happened. So yeah, so that's the actual stats from me back in the day. So let me get rid of this here. There we go. And so yeah, so that's what we did. And again, I couldn't stop. I just had to go and I had to finish it, so I did. So let me get back to the chat room here because I'm here to chat with you guys, and I'm kind of rambling on here. And Rowdy also says, I'm the exact same way. I figured I'd do a couple teams, and I couldn't stand looking at them not run. I mean, it is right? Right? I mean, you look over here and you're like, oh, wow, look at this. This team's awesome. And I know I'm not going to play every team. And I know that, you know, like there's some teams I don't know about in the whole bit, but I got to go, like, you know, you sort them out, right? And then you get to go through them again when you corner them. You're like, I found all these other guys and teams. Like, I should play these teams. So when I found the Continental League, there's 8 teams there. Says, you know something? I should do a little mini tournament with them, a double elimination, and just play like a half. I'll play half a game. So it's not going to take me like forever to do this project. I'll just do half a game. And maybe I'll just go with the starters. Just take the 5 starters and play them, and just to get them on the table. But again, it's like I couldn't like just do the teams I was going to play and not everyone else. So yeah, I couldn't stand looking at them. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean you can't like just dust half a picture, you know, you dust the whole picture off, right? You want it to look nice. You want everything to look nice. You know, if you got pictures on the wall, you don't just dust one of them, you dust them all, you know, and I don't know. Maybe it's a Dave thing, you know. And Bob comes by. Hey, Bob, I did the same thing with all my war game counters. Did about 15,000 over the last 6 months. Yeah. You know, and I had some people making fun of me. I had some people kind of laughing at me as I'm catching up on the chat here. Hi, John. Thanks for coming by. And in World Wars game, not sure enough decision making with that game you're playing. I don't want to make decisions sometimes. Sometimes I just want to play. I make decisions on the subs, and he can make fast-baked decisions. And again, I just end of the game, I went with the press, and the other team can kind of go with the stall. There's enough for basketball. There's enough for me. All right, I wouldn't want much more than that. I really wouldn't want much more than that. I like the read and write game. I like to just see what kind of happens, follow it along. And the substitutions, which I thought I was going to hate. I thought I was going to hate all the substitutions. And that's become fun because it's become a mini game. Whereas I'm trying to get people their exact minutes. And at the same time, when they get into foul trouble, I gotta take them out. And it's been fun. It's been funner than I thought. And it's just like every few minutes I go, okay, do I want to sub or not? Do I leave him in? This guy can play a lot of minutes. I don't want to overuse him. And it's worked out that I'm getting some guys. And again, when Quinn Buckner slid it over to Greg Kite and he put it in for the Celtics the other night, I was like, that was so cool. That guys that are bench guys are going in and contributing. It's kind of like when the third and fourth line guys score in hockey. I am liking this game so much. I really am. I really, really am. For a full play game, it's fantastic. It really is. And, I love, the baseline basketball and the regular season basketball and play of the game basketball for my quicker play games. Those are funner. But for a full play, this works for me, and I really like it. So like Bob was saying is that, again, he did over the last 6 months, he's been chipping away, but that's part of it. Cause I've had a lot of people that were making fun of me. It's like, oh, you're not even playing. You're just kind of running the corners. I'd rather be playing. It's like, this is kind of part of it though. It's kind of like setting the table, for the meal. I mean, we'd all rather be eating, but when you set the table real nice, and you get the napkin folded just right and the silverware out, and, you put the extra garnish on the plate, and you just go above and beyond to make it look nice. Yeah, you could just sit there and eat at the counter, right? But when you make it look nice, when everything looks really nice, it just, again, I'm looking at this right here, and all my fast action cards are all cut, all cornered, rather. I feel really proud about that, and I feel it's been not only is it an accomplishment, but now I'm playing with something I want to play with. I'm touching these cards all the time now, and then the corners aren't catching. They're not, fingers aren't getting pricked on them, and they just look nice and they feel nice. And so for me, it's kind of part of it is making your stuff look nice and feel nice and work for you. It's kind of part of what we do. Part of my setup here. Setting up that scoreboard, getting it on the screen and messing around with that, and trying to make it look good. I mean, that's all kind of part of what I do here. And so I enjoy that. And Fenner coming by. Good to see you, Fenner. He's the late night guy here on the channel. So thanks for coming by, Fenner, as we got a little bit of late night chat going here. I just went upstairs. I was, like I say, flicking through the wrestling book there, and I'm going to try that tomorrow. I'm going to try to practice round tomorrow. And he's playing some APA baseball. Yeah, I played some payoff pitch baseball the other night. Back to my 76 season. In fact, I did, again, and you can see the difference here. Like, so here's, I haven't done Baltimore yet, but you can see how many more cards. So this is a basketball season, right? And that's a baseball season. You can see it's almost 3-1. So I did my Red Sox because that's the team I'm playing, right? So I did my Red Sox, but I haven't done everything yet. And you can see that, it's fine, but I would rather have the rounded cards. That's just me. So I haven't done all the baseball yet. What do I got? I got about 5 or 6 teams out of the American League done. So at some point, It's all everybody that you'll see on the channel will be rounded corners in my 76 project. What I did decide to do, because the baseball teams are so many more players, and I have a lot of more teams and a lot of seasons that as I pull them out, I'll clip them and play them, because realistically there's no way I could go and do all the baseball. It would take me weeks and months, and I just said, nah, I'm all set with that. I'll just, as much as it's gonna irritate me to know that there's teams there that are rounded and teams that are not rounded. Yeah, I'll round them as I need it. I think that's what I'm going to do with the baseball, as needed. I don't think I'm going to go off on a tear and do something like this unless I decided on a huge project and knew what I was going to do. And it's okay. I'll take these teams and round them. But I think the payoff pitch rounded corner is going to be as needed type thing. I think I could be lying to myself. And Ryan's not going to make any of those. Oh, that's too bad. Well, I'm hoping to see you again next year at D to DCon 26, right? We got to stop planning that. So I'm kind of hoping I'll see you back at that because we still need to finish that. Was it the 4th Street game you were going to show me? Yeah, I'm saving that for you. I'm going to save that for you. And let's see, back in the chat room here. Oh, you're playing nice 1905, the Super Bars, and the Cincinnati Reds for Apple. I have that season. Somebody, actually, one of the listeners of the show sent me. He goes, I came into a whole bunch of old Apple cards, and he goes, I heard you talking about the dead ball era, 05 and 08. And he goes, let me send it to you. So he sent me 05 and 08. It's all the older cards. So I do have those seasons. I have played a little bit. Traders, Steve, I'm behind in the chat, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to catch up on the chat here. I know it's a chat here tonight, but I'm behind on the comments. What am I using? Small, medium, or large corners? I'm using the medium, which is the middle one here. And it's actually the easiest because you're putting it in here, and then you're pressing down, whereas the other one, you're coming in at the side. It's a little more awkward, but I'm using the medium setting. That's the M, so I'm going in here, and I'm opposite the cutter. And that's the corner that I like the best. The small one doesn't climp off enough for me. The bigger one's fine too, but I think the medium is it's the mama bear. It's just right, I need to bring on a D to D intern around the corners. No joke. Me and Vinny were talking. I talk to Vinny all the time. Me and Vinny go back and forth and chat all day on Messenger. And we were joking about that, about finding kids in the neighborhood to come over around the corners. Okay, I'll give you $20 an hour. Just start clipping the corners for me, and then that way I'd say my old hands and the young kids, they'll be fine, But I thought about that, In fact, I got a friend of mine that works at a print shop, and I'm probably going to text him and just say, hey, remember the hockey bones card you printed and rounded the corners? It's like, can you just round the corners? Like, what would you charge me for all my baseball teams around the corners? Would that even be possible, But then again, I don't want to, I have them all separated. I don't want to just unseparate them all. And I imagine they wouldn't do one at a time. I imagine they'd probably do 20 at a time. But if they could do a whole team at a time, maybe. But I don't know. The only reason I thought about having somebody else do them, but there is some satisfaction when you do them yourself. There really is. And the thing is, this cutter just does the job that I want to get done. I mean, if I brought it to the print shop and they did all my corners for all the baseball, and I was like, and I wasn't happy with it, I would not be happy with it. I'm happy with this job. But me and Vinny were kidding around about, having somebody else do it for us. So, yeah. And, Rowdy says he has the 24-25. So did you get the PDF or did you get the printed version? Because I know, no, he doesn't offer printed now, but I think he's going to. And Mike's playing season ticket. Okay. And I can see that. So Ryan says, some people say the MJ era was watered down by expansion. I can see that. So if I go back here, and I'm going to look at Basketball Reference here off to the side so you guys can't really see it. So... well, 89, let's see, so I'm at 89, 90. Let me go back here to 87. All right, so in 87, there were 23 teams. And then in 88, 25 teams. So what did I say? I went from 23. So they added 2. They added what? Miami and Charlotte, and then the next season they added a couple more. That's when they added Minnesota and Orlando. Oh yeah, so they were adding teams every couple of years. So they had now 27 teams. And then a couple years later, No, still 27. So 92, 27, 93, 27 teams. 94, no, still 27 teams. So 95, 96, 29. Yep, so they added two more. So they added Vancouver and what was the other? Toronto. So they added the Canadian teams, it looks like. So, yeah, so by this time here, yeah, they had added 6 or 8 teams in a handful of years. So, yeah, so the expansion was pretty big at that point, you know. And the professor comes by. The professor on the drum kit. Thanks for coming by. I'm not the Wayne Gretzky of my league. I think I'm third in scoring, but it's only because I've been there 25 years. We got some other guys that have played there 10 or 15 years that are vastly outscoring me. But it's quantity, not quality for me. I did add 2 assists today. I was pretty excited. The first shift in 9 months. And the ball went behind the net. We play roller hockey, and I'm looking to see who I can cover up front. And I saw a guy in the slot, and a guy behind the net passed it out front, and I reached out and I tipped the ball away from him, and my guy went down and scored. So I got the assist. First shift, I was like, all right, at least I'm contributing here. I'm not just kind of standing around watching everybody skate by me. So I was pretty happy about that. Vinny comes by. Vin is the man. Me and Vin have been chatting about this basketball game and other things. I suppose once I start playing matchup college football, we'll be chatting about that as well. And Rowdy says the medium setting. Oh, it's 5mm. I didn't know what they were called. You know what? Let me show you this. This is let me share this with you. Let me share this. I don't know what I'm gonna. All right, this is getting a little crazy here. All right, but check out this. Let me show you this. All right, so let's go. How about this? Look at that thing right there, right? Let me blow that up a little bit. $100. I don't know how many you could do, and I don't know what it comes with here, but it's $100. That's the corner punch, right? And it does R6 and R10. So I don't know what these are here. R6, I don't like the R6. But $100 for that. And I don't know what the 5mm equivalent is. So R6 and R10. But imagine that. Imagine that. $100. $100 for that. I'm kind of wondering, like, I'm looking at it again. It's like, well, if the R10 was the 5mm one, and I could do, it looks like it's got a pretty good torque on it. I don't know how many you could do at a time, but, if I could do a whole team or half a team, if I could put in 10 cards at once and do 10 cards at once, for $100, I can have it here tomorrow. Would I be happy having all my payoff pitch ones done? Yeah, $100 in a hint, but if it would go way faster than one-on-one, that would be the case. But yeah, I don't think so. Tempting though, right? Tempting. And Vinny's playing he likes the college, UNLV and Duke with Bankshot. Yeah. And Mike's a nice guy like that. Mike's gonna come down and round your corners. He's gonna drive to your house and round the. That's the type of guy Mike is. We got great guys in this community that'll just drive down to your house and round all your corners. That makes him a fantastic guy. It really does. So Mike is the man. And Roddy says, I got through the first quarter of a game tonight. 24-25 Dallas and Phoenix. Nice. This game is fun. It just works. Yeah. And that's right. That's right, Sean. If you're having fun, just keep going with it. And it did. Doing this, every team I get done, and I had this on the counter. And every time I went by, I do a team. And sometimes I'd sit there and do a few teams, but most of the time your hands start to hurt. So I do a team. and I go off and do something else. I go upstairs, get a drink, whatever it is, and then I come down and I did another team. I come home from work today, and I got to wash all the jerseys. I dump a load in the washer, and I do a team. It's kind of what I did. And then I brought in the rest of the stuff, and I did another team. And then the wash is done. I put it in the dryer, and I did another team. And that's just how I chipped away at it. And eventually, all 4 seasons were done. Just how it went. And Vinny's such a good game. Like Dave was saying, there's enough decisions in the game. I'm not a fan of choosing all types of shots for the players. It would be nice in the modern era to try to take more threes, if you could try to do that. But half the fun is letting it play out and just letting the game play out. It's almost like Planko. You drop the Planko in, it bounces down all the nails and comes down. It's fun to see where it ends up. Because that game I played the last couple of nights. I played last night, and then I finished it today with the Buffalo Braves and the Portland Trail Blazers. 75-76. Did you have me playing 75-76 full-play basketball on your bingo card here on my channel? No, I bet nobody did, because I didn't. But I wanted to play the Braves, and I wanted to play Bill Walton. And so I took a couple of obscure teams and played them, and Portland was crushing them. Portland was crushing Buffalo the entire way. Then I looked up in the third quarter, and it was a 2-point game. And we had a 2 to 4 point game for most of the way. And then finally, with like 6 minutes to go, Buffalo couldn't hit a shot, and Portland was putting some in, and they pulled away, and they won by, 8 or something like that. But it was actually fun seeing that play out. And then I went into the press defense, and that worked a little bit and a whole bit. So there's enough variety in that game. It is just so good. And I think he is using the current NBA, I think, yeah. And Roddy says, I'm enjoying it so far, taking my time through the first game, but it's been pretty easy to read the facts and get through the flow. Yeah, I mean, it's not a rush. I was rushing through it, actually, Roddy, is when I got the iPad, the whatchamacallit there, the iScore. And I was like flying through it because I just wanted to get through the game. And I didn't even keep track of the score. I looked up at the end, and that was the Celtics-Philadelphia game. And the Celtics beat them by like 30 points. And I was like, wow, I had no idea the score was that bad because I was just so concentrating on putting in the stats and following the games. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy that game. I didn't enjoy the blowout as much as I should have. So now I'm slowed down. I'm not rushing. I'm looking at the cards and trying to figure out what happens. Yeah, you get the results pretty quick, but I'm keeping track of the score. It's like, oh, they have a chance to tie, or they can go up by 6, and it's way funner. It's way funner not rushing. That might be a show topic, not rushing. It might be. And but just, yeah, take your time. Again, like Roddy was saying, just take your time, have some fun with it. I found a lot of the fast action cards, some of the stuff that they would say to do, I was confused about, and I just went on. What I did is I took my phone, I took a picture of the card, and I put it on Facebook. I put it in the Sideline Strategy Basketball group. I said, guys, help me with this one here. I'm not really following what this means. And I had 5 or 6 or 7 different situations, and I was like, yep, I'm reading this a couple different ways. Can someone point out what I'm supposed to do? And then they did, so it worked out. And Frank comes by. Again, I'm wicked behind in the chat. I'm going to try to catch up here. Have I played the Phil Singer yet? No, I just read the directions, though, so I'm going to try basic mode tomorrow. And you're running 3 different federations with 400 wrestlers. That's awesome. That's awesome. I just joined the Facebook group, and I just read the directions tonight. So I'm going to try to play some basic and have some fun with that. Then I'll get my federation going. I'm interested to see how easy the basic is, and is it worth me to go to advanced? Sometimes advanced is like way too much for me, but we'll find out. And as Sports Flicks come by, Ron's played that game. Yeah. Ron's played. So you can't find any more videos on the Oswald game? I'm trying to think if is that the one that you can play any race? I think he said that's the one that once you buy the game, you can rate any race. So if there's a race that's happening tonight and the race got over, you can go and put in that race and race it right now. So Ron really liked that. Michael says he likes PC Replay basketball. He likes the baseball game. I like both too. It is the game at giving you cards and dice feeling the PC. Yes, it is. I think that's the best one. The basketball game, I think, is the best one. The PC Replay basketball is the closest to cards and dice you're going to get. And what you can do too, Michael, and if you really want to get crazy with stuff, you could sim the games in action and replay PC basketball. You could play a game of Bankshot and put the stats in. I think you can manually load stats. So if you said, okay, I'm going to play this, Celtics Bucks game on the table in whatever game, and I get my stats, I can go in and put it in and kind of replay it that way too. So I think replay does that. If you wanted to keep your stats and put it on the screen. So, and obviously, if you had the replay basketball board game, you could do the same thing. But it's just the idea. I think you could put in the stats if you wanted to, and just kind of follow along like that. But I did play that for the longest time. The only thing was the PC game, it started to bog down. I don't know what happened, but on my last computer, like I would be rolling the dice, and the dice would take forever to finish rolling. It was almost like there was a memory leak or something like that. When it worked good, but then it started to do that all the time. And then I was like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. And Tim says the rounder cards do look better. You might have to consider doing your cards. It's addicting. It really is, Tim. It's addicting because once you do one team, you're like, oh, look how good this is. I want to do them all. At least that's how I am. Vinny's not a fan of the current game, but will always love college and anything NBA from 2000 back. I'm kind of the same way. Although, I found myself watching a little bit of the finals the other night just to kind of see what was going on, And AP's playing 72-73 for 4th Street Hockey Easy computer version. It actually includes actual starting goalies as well as players played in each scheduled game. That's kind of neat to see. I've never played that. I want to do that. You heading back up north? Maybe Jake and Joe's next weekend? Let me see. I think I'm around. So that's 13, 14, and 15. I think I'm around. Maybe I could take my new microphone and we could record a show or an interview or something. Just a thought. Bernie comes by. Hi, Bernie. Good to see you. I'm going to see if I can get caught up on some of the stuff here. Vinny says that's my favorite PC basketball game, but he's staying away from the PC games. Yeah, it is. I enjoyed that game very much, too. And Roddy says he's not a fan of the NBA today, but there's a few players he wanted to play as part of the collection. Yep, that's what it is. We do the collection. Yep, it is. Bob comes by again. When is the Canton event? And I'm hoping to see you here in Denver. I'm planning on going to Denver. Let's put it this way. I got my tickets. So unless something happens and I don't make it, but I am planning on going to Denver. Canton is August. Let me get my calendar here. Canton is August 22nd and 23rd. And depending what's going on with Michael, he's having some things going on right now with work or something. So if all goes well, we're going to drive out Thursday this year. I said, let's go out a day early. And that way there, Friday, we can have all day to game and chill out and hang out with ST or whatever we got to do. But that way we're not getting out Friday and being tired. So I think we're going to try to do that. But I'm hoping to be in both. That's the plan right now. I've already worked on my presentation, too, for Colorado. I have a presentation to give. Any chance I'll be showing back to basics baseball? Probably. I have to relearn how to play that because I haven't played that in a while. But that was a fun game. What was great about Back to Basics baseball is you got every season. So you can just go and print it up. But the only thing, it's tough to show that game because it's really like on a spreadsheet or a PDF. So you print out the team, and so I don't have individual cards to show. So I could, put them on the table here and show you how to play it. But that was the only thing about that. It wasn't. It was a team sheet, and it's kind of harder to show the team sheets because it just has the rating. So you'd flip it, and is he an A? Yes. If he's a B, no. Whatever it was. So it's a little harder to show. And, oh, man, you got the wife to do some corner rounding for you? Oh, man, yeah, I wish my wife would because she was like, what's all that noise down there? I says, well, maybe you should come down and help me out, and I'll get it done faster. We got 2 corner rounders. We can, imagine that double time. That'd be awesome. Yeah, season ticket football is good. I do like that, And Rowdy got the printed version of 24-25. It came earlier this week. Yep. I found out mine just shipped. I ordered the other day before he shut down the print orders. So I have my my next two seasons coming in. I'll unbox when they come in, and then of course after you unbox, you got a corner. And yes, you could. I've said that too. The Bobby Orr era was watered down by expansion. Yes, I've always said that. You look back at those Bobby Orr highlights and how bad the teams were and how bad the goalies were compared to the original six when it was the best of the best. So yes, you could absolutely say that Bobby Orr and everybody in that era benefited from the expansion. I still think that Orr was going to be Orr no matter what, how many teams you had, but yeah, it made it easier when you had all those guys there. And Vinny's playing the '85 Super Bowl season ticket football, and he's having some fun with that. And Rowdy's doing the 23 Marlins replay with season ticket. Yep. And Christopher comes by again. I'm trying to catch up here in the chat. He's watching the Mariners and the Angels games. So I think you're a Mariners fan, right? You're watching Seattle out there. I love that old logo, the Trident logo. I used to have I don't know if it was a hat or an old batting helmet with that on. I like that logo. Vinny's bracing for Canton. A dear friend is bringing 18 seasons. Oh, that's awesome. That's right. Let me know if you want to sell any of those. Maybe I'll buy one off if you don't want to. If you got too many seasons to play. I still got a couple seasons I'd like to get. So you're reading up on the game here. Now, it's super, I don't want to say it's super easy. The initial interaction is, but it can get kind of crazy with men on base. Maybe I should do a video on that, on how I play that, because there's a couple different ways of handling things on base. I think there's like 3 different ways to do it. It all depends on how detailed you want it to be. And I whittled it down to something that I really enjoy, and it works for me. But payoff pitches, again, I've said it 100 times. APA baseball late at night is my go-to game because it's relaxing. I don't even got to think about it. And payoff pitch, when I want to get a little bit more serious, I use payoff pitch and season ticket. The only reason I lean towards payoff pitch is because I buy the seasons printed. They're all done, and you get everyone. They're the greatest cards ever. And season ticket, I get PDF, so I have to print everybody. So that's why I more have to play payoff pitch, because I don't want to have to print out the PDFs. And yes, that's a crap load of. Imagine how many corners he's going to have to cut with 18 seasons. Yeah. Yep. And let's see here. And Trader Steve uses the medium as well. You like the Mama Bear comparison? You like that? Yeah, that was a few minutes ago. That's how far behind I am. $100 for that. Yeah, well worth. What thinking about it? $100 for that, And Christopher's played some top of the stretch horse racing today. A lot of people play the horse racing. Roddy's through the first quarter. Mavs up 30-29 on Phoenix. Could be a big scoring game. Yeah, he would be there to help and hang out. That's for sure. Pete says, "How long does a typical game of Bankshot basketball take?" Again, that's the that's the question there that we talked to ST about. As far as it depends how quick you play, how fast you play, how many details you want. Are you keeping stats? Are you when I use the iPad, the what was it, the iScore. When I use the iScore, it went faster than pen and paper, because after you load everybody in, you just kind of tap on what happens. I was able to play offline without talking to anybody and just playing without any distractions and just using the iPad. I was able to play a quarter, I think, in 20 to 25 minutes, and that's still only played a couple of full games. So I'm not at my peak performance yet with this game. So I'm thinking, it says you can play a game in 90 minutes. I think if you played really fast, you could get done in 90 minutes. I think more realistically, you're looking. Well, no. So what? 20? If I did 20 minutes a quarter, it's 120 minutes. No, wait. 20, 40, 60, 120. Yeah, 90 minutes is that'd be about right. Once you get up to speed, I'm thinking. Yeah, because I think if you're looking at a half hour, a quarter, it's 2 hours. That's probably more realistic. 25 to 30 minutes a quarter. But again, if you get in the groove and you got a fast moving game and you don't get a lot of fouls and foul shots, then it's going to be a little quicker. But it takes a while to play. But it's one of these things like when you're done, you don't even realize how much time has passed because the game moves so well. And the flow of the game and the keeping the score and everything and the cards coming out, it just moves along. It doesn't feel like it's taken 25 or 30 minutes a quarter to play because it just moves along. So the you know so how long does it take? Figure 20 25 minutes a quarter if you're keeping stats. Um, and Bankshot's a little tougher when the 3 pointers are in there. Yeah, when you get the 3 point stuff in there, you're checking the second dice roll to see if they're shooting threes. Um, but once you get used to it, it's all right. You never thought of that? That's cool. What, going down and help Vinny out? I'm behind in the chat. I'm going to get there. And let's see here. Rowdy says, I've been thinking of a lot past week. I'd love some create baseball sim for banana ball somehow. I know, right? I said that, was it Joe Bryan? He's like, no, that's not real baseball. He was like real upset about it. And I had fun with Back to Basics too, but there's so many other games I'd rather play, you know. And Pocket Pen Run took Back to Basics, made it better. I would agree with that. Yeah, PPR. That's what we know. We know what you meant. Pocket Pen Run. I would agree with that. Pocket Pen Run is great. I really wish, and I made this suggestion to him one time, that I really wish that their bread and butter was how simple that game was and how fun it was. And their last iteration, I don't know if it was 2 or 3, they had these team cards come out that looked so nice. And it's one of these things where if they could take that design of the team card and make individual cards, I would buy that. Those individual cards in that style that they did, it was just so good. Now you can print out the spreadsheet, but they're so generic and blocky that they look terrible. They don't have any soul. If they were to sell the Pocket Pennant Run individual player cards, that's something I would buy. I would, and you could have the player, where they bat, how they throw, and then just have their 4 ratings on them. That would be the way to go. I would be playing a lot more Pocket Pennant Run like that instead of having to take out the team sheet and kind of read it out like Back to Basics. It's all in a team sheet. If I told those guys, sell those cards, create those cards and sell them either PDF or printed, whatever you got to do, people will buy those cards. People will play that game, and they said, no, we're not going to do it that way. It's like, that's the way I would go with that game. Oh, you're an Angels fan in Western PA. I thought you were the Mariners fan. We have a couple of Mariners fans on here, but you're out in Western PA. I get it. I haven't played any of the big country from Jason yet. Oh, you got the book off Lulu for all the sports? Okay, because I know he's been doing a lot with that. His channel's been very active lately. Did I see the Spring Football League for play for second season? I saw they were doing something on play the other day with second season. And I'm not sure what football league it was. Oh, it was the USFL, I think. And just reminded me, Dave, to bug you about not playing Here's the Pitch yet. Yeah, that's one game I haven't played yet. That's on my list to check out at some point, Vinny says, when I'm playing a game, time doesn't mean anything to me. I get absorbed in the game and embrace everything with it. Life is too stressful. Exactly. My gaming is my own time away from everything. Yep. I really like to come down here and just play. And like I said, I'll share a lot with you guys. That's just kind of what I do. I like to share, my joy of playing games, and hopefully we have a good game to play, and I like to talk about it. But sometimes I'll just put something on, listen to some music or something, and play a game myself, and it's kind of relaxing. It is very. I would rather, like I'm upstairs watching TV with the wife. She was like, "Why do you watch TV with me?" It's like, "'Cause I don't like watching TV." She has the news on. It's like, it's nothing but bad news. I don't want to hear that stuff all day long. It's like I want, and sometimes we'll watch a movie or we'll find something on Netflix, like a little, series that we can watch. But if I had my dithers, I'd never watch TV. I'd just come down and here and play my games and do YouTube stuff and watch YouTube. I don't really, there's really nothing on TV that I want to watch. But we have to spend all that money every month because she's home watching TV, so I got to let her do that. And use Pocket Pen and Run for the software to score season ticket baseball games. That's an idea. Yep, it is. Yep, and it's gaming is my escape. Yep, I sometimes it's so therapeutic because there's sometimes I'll be at the rink and I'll be stressed out or I'll be doing something stressed out. It's like, man, I can't wait to come home and play something. I got a game sitting on the table, or I got, this Bankshot basketball game I'm really into. I can't wait to try that, or get back to, I got a season ticket baseball short project I'm working on my 76 payoff pitch. Red Sox. I mean, I get so many things. I can pull out a game of Hockey Bones and play some hockey or Apple Hockey. Apple Football. I love Apple Football. It just takes a long time to set up and play, but every now and then I carve out time for that. Sometimes I look so forward to coming down and playing here. I really, really do. And Vay's got a Pocket Pennant Run coming Monday. And he's got, Highlight Maker Hoops Prime Time. Don Broth Baseball apparently released a new version. I'm giving a free version a try on PC. That's kind of nice. My wife said she'll get History Maker Golf for me. I will play a lot of golf in the year if she gets it for me. That's a fun game. I need to pull that out. In fact, I pulled that out and I brought that to Connecticut. I never played it, but that's one of the 35 games I brought. That's why my truck was loaded, And yes, History Maker Golf is so good. I remember playing that the first time. It was great. And you sing along to the oldies. Yeah. Yep. Fantastic. Did I miss anything over here in the chat? Hopefully I got everything there. I think about gaming while I'm at work. Yeah. That's what it is. Yep. That's what you got to do. You got to find time to play and enjoy it. And I'll look at these. So let's get back to Chicago here. So let's take a look at I almost said the Blackhawks, but it's the so they were 72-10, right? 72-10. That's a pretty darn good team. Let's take a look at some of the cards here. And Fenner says he's got no score going through 5 innings. Ooh, an Appa dead ball game, 1905. The Super Bars, right? All right, here's the Michael card. So let me take a look at this here. So, I don't have my overhead camera on, so we're going to have to stick it in front of you over here. 0 to 39 is a miss. 62 to 67 is a basket. So 62 to 91, he's getting some kind of points. So 62 to 91, is that 37? That's almost a third. So there's the Michael Jordan card. I mean, that's not bad. So 62 to 67, he gets an automatic assist. And 68 to 91 is going to be a basket. So, and then on defense, 8 to 34 is a basket. So that is the Michael card. Well, Scottie Pippen, who was the second best guy in the team, if you ask him, he's got 58 to 69 is an assist, and then the basket 79 to 20. So that's still a pretty good card too. I wanted to see So here's a guy here that only played 1 game. He gets no assist. He gets a basket on 0 to 10. Jack Haley, he only played the 1 game. He played 7 minutes. So he gets a card, just not going to do much with it. Let's see who else. Oh, here's the Rodman card. Oh, my gosh. Look at this right here. Look at his rebounds in the middle of the card. 66 and 55. If I go to the middle of the card there, offensive rebound, 66. Defensive rebound, 55. He's going to, every challenge, he's going to win every single challenge. That is so cool. That is going to be great. Kukoc? Who's Kukoc? Is that his real name? Oh, here he is, Tony Kukoc. Alrighty, so 26 minutes played. Basket 78 to 99. That's pretty good. So here's the Tony Kukoc card, if you will. 95, 96. So he gets 0 to 11 is going to be an assist. 78 to 99 is a basket. That's not a bad card either. Not a bad card at all. I don't know anybody else on the team, but so that is a quick look there at the 95-96 Chicago Bulls. And I haven't tried the team. I did play one game with team cards. They were okay. It doesn't play. What did I say it took? When I played the team card, it took me 11 minutes to play a quarter. So it's about half. It takes about half. So instead of 22 minutes, it takes 11 minutes to play a quarter. It was kind of funky because you're only looking at the one card over and over and over. It was kind of weird. So, but anyway, so that is that. So, folks, I just wanted to come by here and chat tonight. Some of you guys are playing some things. Some of you guys are chilling out. Maybe some of you guys are rounding corners right now, coming around the bend, you know. Oh, you ordered 5 seasons before Joe shut down. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you sent me the list. I still have 82, 83 coming, and 84, 85. So I'll have the run from 81 to 84. So 81, 82, 83, and 84 I'll have. I still have the page open here. I mean, he's got 79, 77, 78, and 79, 80 are maybes for me. Again, the Celtics really didn't do much. So if I look over here, if what did I say it was? 77, 78. Yes, that's a Bill Walton season with the Washington Bullets actually beat Seattle. Where did Bill Walton play on this one here? Oh, here's the MVP, and he was with. Oh, he's still with Portland at that point. Oh, he missed a couple seasons to injury. That sucks. And then he ended up in Boston that one year. That was awesome. So yeah, he was with Portland that year, and Portland finished in first place, but they lost in the second round. I think it was to Seattle. But so 78, 77, 78. I don't know much about that season. I just don't know much about that. Celtics weren't that good. And then the other season was, 79, 80. And that's Lakers over Philadelphia. And again, Boston lost to Philly that season. Boston was 61 and 21. They still were the best team in the league. It was the next year, 80-81. That's the one I would get, 80-81. They beat Houston that year. Chris Ford, 3-point shots. I remember all that. So, I mean, 77, 78, 79, 80. Those are maybes for me. Maybes. Now, when did they start the 3-point shot? When did they start 3-point shots? Three-point shots. Okay, so in 80, 81, they had it. 79, they had it. So 79, 80, they brought in the 3-point shot. So that would be the first season with 3-point shots was 79, 80. Well, that might be a reason to get that, right? I need a reason, right? $9 for the PDF. Now I gotta get it printed. Whenever it opens back up, maybe that'll be a Black Friday thing. 88, 89, maybe. There's a huge jump from 95, 96 to 2022, so there's nothing in the 2000s. 88, 89, who was 88, 89? 88, 89 was San Antonio, Karl Malone, and they beat the Knicks 4-1. Wow, Celtics won 19 games. Oh, that was a shortened season. Excuse me. They only played 50 games. Wow. So that must have been a strike season or something like that, right? Yeah, they started February 5th, so that they played a shortened season. 88. Oh, 90. Oh, that's 98, 99. I'm looking at the wrong one. 98. I got to go to 88, 89. I'm on the wrong page. My eyes. So 88, 89. Oh, that's the Pistons over the Lakers, 4-0. That might be an all right one. Let me click on the series stats. Dumas, Isaiah Lambier, Dennis Rodman against Worthy Abdul-Jabbar, Cooper, AC Green, Magic Johnson. No, 88, 89 maybe. Celtics actually made the playoffs, but they kind of stunk that year. Detroit beat them. Well, if I wanted to play that Detroit season, 88, 89, there's a lot of people from that season I don't know. Michael's still playing. John Stockton. Charles Barkley with Philadelphia. Manute Bol. Karl Malone. Yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. And they have WNBA stuff. Yeah, I don't really watch that too much. Everyone's playing the Caitlin Clark. Yeah, that's what they got it for. Yeah, Walton got hurt in a couple of seasons. Like he played one, then was hurt, then played, then was hurt, and Portland ruined him. Was he a goon? Was he a goon out there? That's just not my thing. Just not my thing. It doesn't mean that it's this, that, or the other thing. It's kind of not my thing. Oh, what am I doing here? Let me got my D to D logo. I want to put that back. I don't think there's any free teams with the base. I don't think you get any free teams at all with the base. At least I didn't see any in my box. Let me just double check here. So, no player cards. Yeah, no. So I just reading the instructions. So there's no player cards if you're buying that game. So no, you have to get everything. So you got to buy a season with it. Yeah, I'm tempted on that one. And 80. Yeah, that's Detroit. Yeah, interesting topic show. How do you choose what seasons to buy and play? Maybe I'll have to interview some people in Colorado about that and do a show out there. And they lied to Walton about his injury. And that is interesting to see how some pick seasons. Yep, like trading cards. Yep. What I might have to do is I might have to throw that out there to the community. Do a community feedback show. We haven't done one of those in a while, where we'll throw it out. How do you pick seasons? And then read some results and talk about that. So I think that might be an idea. So anyway, well, I'm going to jump out here. I actually have to work tomorrow. I have our new season starts this week, so we have a captain's meeting tomorrow. So I need to go to that. Then I'm doing an interview with one of our Patreons tomorrow night. We're going to be he's interviewing me for something he's doing, so I have to get ready for that tomorrow night. I need to get some wrestling. I need to practice some wrestling here, and then who knows? See how the afternoon goes. See if I can maybe sneak on something else here on the channel tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to sneak on. I want to play now that I'm in the Bankshot basketball. I want to play that little tournament there, the double elimination tournament. I'm going to play like one half will play. So I'll cut the game time in half and just double elimination game or something like that with those 8 teams from the Continental League. Although if I just did a single elimination with 8 teams, it would go a lot quicker to be what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'd be 7 games. That'd be a little bit more realistic than a double elimination, you know. So, and Fenner says no score going into the 8th. Sorry about that. It's been a long day here. Like I said, I played hockey today, so physically I'm tired, even though I crashed this afternoon. But I come home and I've been cornering cards all day and watching jerseys, and I crashed for about an hour. Now it's like, it's kind of hitting me now. Oh, all right, yeah. So Vince says, reach out tomorrow. Here's some rules stuff I discovered for Bankshot in regards to the assist result in the 3-point era. Oh, neat, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to send that stuff to me there so I can figure out what it is. ST said something the other day when I was talking to him about there's a way to, there's a optional rule to roll on fouls when a person's getting up there and fouls. If he gets like 3 1/4, or if he's going to foul out, you can roll to see if he avoids the foul, you know, because I guess the game is pretty high on fouls. I haven't found that. I don't know about if you guys here, if Vin or if Rowdy had like getting too many fouls in the game. I've only had one guy foul out in the handful of games I played, and so to me it seems all right. I just take the guy out when he gets too many, and then I sneak him back in. And then sometimes he works out. You know, what's in between Bankshot and SSG? With SSG, what you did is you had your 5 guys on the court, and you had to rank them all from 1 to 5 according to their defense and their offense. So you had these little markers that were, black 5s for defense and white 5s for offense, whatever it was. But every team you had to, from what I remember, you had to rate everybody. And so then when you would, roll the dice or whatever it was, it would say, 5 versus 4 or 5 versus 3. So you know which guy you were going with in the matchup. But then if you substituted, you had to re-evaluate all 5 players and then put that thing to line them all up again to see who was the best on offense down to the worst and the best on defense down to the worst. And that was kind of tedious, I thought, is that every time you subbed in, you had to really kind of rework everything, and it was kind of a pain. It still was based on the 0 to 100 system, from what I remember. It was okay. It was okay. But as you can see, I never really played it much. Whereas Bankshot, I am playing a lot, and I ordered a lot of seasons. So it's just all around, I think it's a better game. So you don't think the fouls are too excessive? Okay. And, there was an optional rule. I'll have to read on that. Maybe tonight I'll go through the Facebook page and see if anybody put something about that. But anyway. So I just found it was a little more clunky. It was fine. It was fine. But what I really like about this game, let me show you the cards again, is what they... All right, so we'll take... we'll go to Scottie Pippen, okay? So what I like about this card here, okay, is so you can see that you roll the dice and you get the 0 to 99 on the offense and the 0 to 99 on the defense. And the fast action card will tell you if you're looking at the offense or if you're looking at the defense. To the left of that, you see the free throw, FT next to offense? You roll that same 0 to 99, and it tells you if the free throw is good. So it kind of like does double duty. I like that. And then if you look at the basket at the bottom from 79 to 99, you do a 2D6 roll, and it tells you if he took a 3-point shot. And then next to that with the A, well, anything from 79 to 89, it's not only going to be a basket, but there's going to be an assist on the play. Anything from 90 to 99 is just a straight-up basket with no assist. So everything's kind of doing double duty on this card. I really like that, is how it works out. And I don't think it did that in the other game. I don't think, like I said, I didn't play it that much. I only played like a few minutes, and I was just like, oh man, this is such a pain in the neck, having to reevaluate everybody every time you bring somebody in, and I know you don't sub much, and subbing's a pain, but I don't know. I just the Bankshot I think is far superior. Just what I think, for what it's worth. So, all right, I'm gonna jump out, folks. I might have one more cup of decaf coffee before I go to bed because I like to be up all night going pee because that's what I do because I'm a dummy. But I'm gonna jump out here. Thanks for coming by. It was fun chatting with everyone. And yeah, Vin, reach out with some of that the Bankshot stuff. I'm interested to see what you got on that. So, all right. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys at some point tomorrow. And Bankshot has no chart lookups. I didn't know if SSG did or not. I don't remember that. I hadn't played it enough, honestly. So we'll talk to everybody later. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at some point. Again, I got to work at lunch tomorrow, and then I got the interview at night. But maybe in the afternoon I can sneak on and get some things going. We'll play something. So we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.